Morning self, Ohana, Cosmic Universe. This is Soul Dr. Nick here. It is March 26th, 2025, Wednesday morning. It's about 6:40 a.m. in the morning. Got up here around 6:32 a.m., which is first light here in Port Moody, British Columbia, Canada. And so you're going to see things getting brighter around me as the morning goes on. I am under my new canopy, pagoda gazebo that my dear friend Francis built, sitting in front of a fire right now, really practicing being up here at first light, enjoying myself. And I'm going to change one thing on my phone. Boop. Turn down the brightness. See if it's still there. Good. And I'm going to turn on the black and white so it's less stimulating seeing myself. And this is magic mirror work. So, woke up this morning at 5 a.m. First at 2:30 as per usual with my cat, feeding him, and then trying to rest a little bit. Definitely passed out again. I was gone. Woke up again at 4:44 a.m. for a 5 a.m. Zoom call with Dan Brulé and Stigerson? I don't know, Stigerson? World record holder for breath holding, free diving, because he's got a new breathology course. And grateful I was on there, just hearing about what's coming up, all the science coming up around it, all the excitement coming around it, and just noticing for myself, what else do I want to learn and take? And the bigger part is, how do I actually get clearer and clearer on what I'm actually doing and offer it and have it be delivered? And noticing that I'm frustrated that we haven't started yet. Noticing how we're framing it. Perhaps it's shifting the framing from a ceremony with coaching to coaching with a ceremony. I mean, many people would pay $10,000 to change their lives. We just happen to be putting it in a package that actually creates the conditions to change your life. Like a $10,000 US coaching package isn't that much. It isn't. For 5 months, $2,000 a month, many people pay that already. Now you're adding in different modalities, you're adding in ceremony, you're adding in all these possibilities, you're adding in the ways that we're willing to do this. And how do we frame it? Part of it is framing. And I'm saying all this out loud because it's my own magic mirror work. It's not to promote, it's not to demote, it's not to praise, it's not to antagonize. And then going back even to my own personal life, how am I creating the connections with the people I love in the way that I want right now? And that's part of what's going on right now too. It's like there's so many, it's so easy to get lost in the work of it all versus the life of it all. Recently, someone very dear to me shared with me, she's like, yeah, I think you're supposed to go off and do some retreats with other men, like on a more regular basis, once a month maybe even. And it was a reminder, thank you for waking me up to that. Like there's that primal desire to go off and forge and forage and hunt and gather. And it's like, how do we actually create meaningful connections? I think part of it came out of doing this spring equinox, realizing how powerful it was to come together to have these breath sessions, and how can I create almost mini retreats, especially if people are reaching out and looking for something. How to create something that actually works. And I haven't figured it out yet. I think the next step is talking with my team so I don't devalue what it is that I already want to do. That's the risk that I see in creating something new. I already have the breath out there, and there's a worry like, oh, what if we have this $19 offering that's really accessible? and then going to this other offering, which is like 10,000. And it's like, oh man, go from too accessible to inaccessible. And I'm recognizing, how do I not play the game of someone else, but also play the game that works best, because I'm not trying to make this harder. And I think I see the moon in the distance, right in the haze right now, which is so cool. It's like seeing the moon and the haze and life. And I can't believe it's such a small moon already, but I guess it's been 12 days since the full moon. All right. Really glad to have this fire out here, because it's not that warm first thing in the morning. I did this the other day without the fire. I did this yesterday and the day before without the fire, and it was a lot more challenging to stay out here for too long. And so today I'm gonna enjoy, love up this fire, love up the fact that I have these propane tanks that can bring me this kind of heat. Yeah. Learning about breath holding, learning about breath work, learning about 1-2 breathing, which is breathing in half as long as you're breathing out, to dive more into the parasympathetic nervous system. Reminding myself of that more too, because I'm finding myself hitting the sympathetic. I'm finding myself hitting that place where, oh, it's stress, it's tension, it's not knowing, and feeling the pressure of it all. And right now, part of my desire, why I set the alarm to even get up this morning and get out in this early morning light, is I want to honor what I'm learning from Papa Jack Cruz and say, all right, let's actually get out here and see what's possible if I actually come out in the light first thing in the morning. And probably I won't talk for too long today, because I actually want to do some listening, some receiving, some learning as well. There's so many things to learn. And that's the thing I've got to remember, is like, who do I want my main teachers to be right now? Like right now, I've asked for Elena, I've asked for Ellie, I'd asked for Hella. And right now I've got 0 appointments booked with any of them. And then Jerry Sargent and Dr. John DiMartini and Jack Cruz. All right, I've got 3 other teachers. And then I've got bodywork and bending from Joni, esoteric from Elizabeth. Like I'm just trying to think of who is going to be that third person. Like, it feels like it's going to be 3, 6, 9, right? Maybe it's myself. Maybe that's the magic mirror work, right? This is me and me and me. And of all the things I'm committing to most, it's me and me and me. I've got bodywork with Joni tomorrow. Elizabeth, I don't know when I'm seeing her next. I'd like to see her soon-ish. And then it's cleaning up life too. There's so many things that have happened recently that haven't been cleaned up. And today's my day to get in a name for the sound quest that's coming up. It's to promote it a little bit more. Oh yeah. Reminder to reach out to my dear friend Mike. Friday might be a good day. Friday morning sounds like a good day. Love of mine, someday you will die, but I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark, the blinding lights, or tunnels to gates of white, just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for the hint of a spark. If heaven held aside that they both are satisfied, illuminate the notes on the vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. And you seen everything to see, from Bangkok to Calgary, and the soles of our shoes have all worn down. The time for sleep is now. There's nothing to cry about, 'cause we'll hold each other soon in the blackest of rooms. If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on the vacancy signs. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. And I'll follow you into the dark. Sunrise. Sunrise. Looking at fires. Man, I love looking at fires. I love burning fires. I can do this all freaking day, burning fires. And this one here takes propane. It's got a longer hose, which is great, but it takes propane. The natural gas one, I'd like to get a longer hose for that. And a big fucking fire pit is in my future. I can really feel it. I love a good fire pit. Man. And I know, in a way, it's wasting a lot of energy, is what it feels like. But there's got to be a better way to capture it. I don't know what that is right now. I almost foresee something kind of in the ceiling above it where all the heat rises to, catching that heat energy like into water, something else, that trickling down the sides and warming up the floor around as well, so the whole place gets warmer faster. Having that capacity or that possibility at least, and trusting as it happens. I remember that natural sauna we had at Mark Wong's place in Osprey Lake, and they have a way of starting a fire and that automatically boils the water, which automatically feeds into the sauna and pulls things up. And how to create more of those things, how to learn more about those natural ways of heating things. Yeah, having some wood-fired saunas, that'd be really nice. Having that on the island regularly, that'd be really nice. There we go. And there's a tie-in right there. Doing something regular like that. So, looking at cob homes, looking at natural homes, looking at homes that actually bring ions back into the body that are recharging us instead of depleting us. Part of it is the toxicity of drywall, of the materials that are used in building now, all the flame retardants, everything else that is used that you need to do for regulation, for certification, for all the ifications of things. Recognizing this home we have right now is probably a good home base for a little bit. $3,600 a month in rent. Fucking not cheap. That's over $40,000 a year. But on the balance of things, considering that we wouldn't want to buy it and own it, would I want to own it 20 years? No, I'm not going to be here for 20 years no matter what. In this building, 20 years? Fuck no. All the building that's going around? Fuck no. Will I be here for maybe 3-4 years? The cost of my medical school and tuition and everything else? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Right? Like, it's definitely not a bad home base. Great parks next door. Love the morning sun. Getting it set up properly. So we'll probably have at least a year here. but can we more quickly, more expeditiously create a piece of land, especially on the island, that we could go to regularly, like once a month, once every 3 months? Yes. Could I run retreats out of there relatively soon? Yes. Would that be amazing? Yes. Building things up, letting things go, hearing it from Matthew, creating a high end. Offering. This is the work. This is the way. This is business. This is business. How do I do this? I don't know yet, but I know it's worthwhile. I know it's fucking worthwhile. I know it's fun and it's fucking worthwhile. I notice the changes. I notice the power. 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 Very interesting. Being with the flames, being with the sun, being with the idea of power. Part of me would love everything to be sustainable already. It doesn't feel sustainable already, if I'm being honest. Part of me wants to buy whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want. Noticing that as well, letting it go. Part of me wants to make money in every aspect that I'm doing things in. Money is definitely something that's top of mind right now. And it's not, I'm actively avoiding some of the things around money, right? So it's letting that go too. Just noticing, fuck. There's so many lies that I tell myself. It's funny doing this magic work because I say that, I'm like, oh my God, what if someone watches that? It's like, oh my God, what is he lying about? It's like, yesterday I was talking to someone about authenticity. Probably this is why it's coming up. He's like looking at authenticity for himself. It's like, what are the lies? What are the masks I'm telling myself? I just realized he's wearing masks. I'm like, as I'm noticing his mask, I'm like, hey, if we work together, things might really shift. Home, life, everything might blow up. And when I reflect that for someone else, there's a reason they've shown up in my own life. What's looking to blow up in my own life? And am I willing to blow it up? I think it's yes and. Yes, and I am willing to blow it up, and to show a little bit more kindness and compassion during the blowing up process. Both for myself and others. It feels like a lot right now. It feels... Here's the thing for me that I'm noticing. My pattern is I could do everything, almost everything, 99.999% of it right in my head. But if that 0.001% is pointed out that I'm not doing right, that's what I'm focusing on. And as well, that's where the shame and the guilt come up too. And then the blame and the projection of the other, going, why the fuck did you put me through this? And then being able to just own that that's just a pattern. It isn't the truth. It isn't right. It isn't set in stone. and how to step out of those patterns because I actually do want things to change. This is the edge of challenge and support. It feels like it's all challenge and no support. I forget about the support part of it. I have so much love. Like the other day, someone was pointing out, going, I've got all these people I can call on, and I know that because I've had to call them recently. And no questions asked, they're there. And I recognize for myself as listening to that, it's like, I know I got a lot of people like that. And until you're actually in the situation, you never fully know. So, both certainty and uncertainty. Both certainty and uncertainty. Mm. Mm. And notice that I'm trying to push. We're so many months out. I have nothing set in stone. Notice I'm trying to push. Some of these things I say may be cryptic, but I realize I'm saying them for me, by me, through me, as me. I don't always have to explain myself to the mirror, even though that's part of the work. There's someone I'm thinking of coming to helping out with a retreat, and I'm like, I don't need a pusher to do that. I don't need to push anyone. If anyone, it's pushing and pulling myself and just noticing the push and the pull. Noticing the push and the pull. This fire pit wasn't working yesterday. I thought it might be broken. I said that to my beloved. She's like, we just wasted money. And I was like, we may have. It's real sad if it doesn't work. And if it doesn't, I loved it when it was working. I'm really glad it's working again because I don't need to replace it yet. It's got this amazing orange top, which is why I love it. Morning meditations, morning breath, morning beingness up here. It's funny looking at the mist on the right-hand side further away from the sun, the left-hand side close to the sun, and it's just burned off from the sun as well. Like you can see, you can actually see all the way to the moon over there. If the moon was over there, I wouldn't be able to see it because I can't see the sky. Yesterday I went to Rocky Point and we had some ice cream, my son and I, and then we were able to be outside. It was warm enough that I actually got to take my shirt off. That was pretty cool. I was like, all right, let's get as much sun on this body as possible. Let's actually feel the sun on the body. And I don't know, publicly outside, last time I took my shirt off would have been last year then. So, because I definitely didn't do it for the polar bear day because I only put my legs in the water. That was enough for me. My dear friend Conrad, bringing his fire bowl out to the lake as well, Bunsen Lake. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just imagining future homes and definitely having them be self-sustainable, off-grid, and everything else like that, and how to do that. Whether it's with propane, natural gas, solar power. Even things like electrical wiring and make sure it's properly done. Even things like light fixtures and light bulbs, incandescent light bulbs all around. There's the train going by right now. I think there is a receptor for fire light as well. I don't know, but I think there is. It just feels so good to me. And then being out here with this early morning wavelengths, I'm sure it's all bouncing around, getting exactly where it needs to go. Sunrise, sunrise. What is 1% bonus in your life worth? What is 10% bonus in your life worth? Most things can't guarantee that. Your life will be at least 1% better, probably over 10% better. Then there's that 1% diary that I've got, like everything is 1% better. And there's a few things to say. Today is going to be a wunderbar day. Great reminder, it's going to be awesome. I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom. I feel to heal. Everything is a story. I always have a choice. The only constant is change. I do what I love and I love what I do. Gonna spend some birthday time with my best friend today. Gonna go into the city. And we'll see how that goes. We'll see what I want to bring with me. Probably some stuff to record, some stuff to listen. Is there anyone or anything else to see downtown? I guess I could go in early and do a podcast with my dear friend. I go walk around the seawall. Is there anything else downtown that's wanted or needed? I don't know. So many pieces, so many components of life. Yeah, since Sunday when I did the breath work, I haven't done any medicine, including the hape. And the other day someone asked me to do some hape for them, and I didn't actually get a chance to. Part of me wants to do it this morning, part of me is remembering, let's just take our time. There's no rush. There's no rush. I'm grateful I've recorded a couple hot bay ceremonies recently and just being able to see how it's evolving. Rescheduling everything, retooling everything. Oh yes, I was going to stop recording a little bit and listen a little bit more. Is there anything else that wants to be shared? It's clearing up now. I'm seeing what looks like a chemtrail in the sky for sure. Part of this social, environmental engineering. More haze on the left-hand side. I can't see the moon anymore. I'm reminding myself like how crazy it is that we're changing our ionosphere, all the different EMFs we're broadcasting, that I'm broadcasting as well. And then letting go of it, because if I'm choosing to be here, I'm choosing to be here. And how do I best take care of myself in the midst of all this? That's good for now. Ciao for now, my friend.